Good morning, boys and girls. I have your read-along for today. We're going to read a fun book that you can use later to do some of your seesaw activities for today. And the title of our book today is a really long word. Can you say that word? It's chrysanthemum. And it's written by Kevin Hinks. If someone writes the book, what does that mean? That's right, they're the author. And the front of the book has our title and our author, who is also our illustrator. What does it mean then if he's the illustrator? He made the beautiful pictures in the book. Good job. Do you know what part of the book this is? The back. Now, can we read from the back of the book? No. You want to start at the front of the book. And remember, this is our spine that holds all the pages together. Now let's open up and see what we have here. Here is our title page. Our title page, we learned 3 things. The title, the author, and the illustrator. So Chrysanthemum, let's see what this book is about. The day she was born was the happiest day in her parents' lives. "She's perfect," said Mother. "Absolutely," said her father. And she was. She was absolutely perfect. And I'm sure you sweet babies at home, your mommy and daddy thought you were perfect too. I bet they can even show you baby pictures. "Her name must be everything she is," said her mother. "Her name must be absolutely perfect," said her father. And it was. Chrysanthemum. Her parents named her Chrysanthemum. And we've been learning about our names this week. Remember to start the first letter of your name with a big capital letter when you practice writing it. Chrysanthemum grew and grew and grew, and when she was old enough to appreciate it, Chrysanthemum loved her name. She loved the way it sounded when her mother woke her up. She loved the way it sounded when her father called her for dinner. And she loved the way it sounded when she whispered it to herself in the bathroom mirror. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum loved the way her name looked when it was written with ink on an envelope. She loved the way it looked when it was written with icing on her birthday cake. And she loved the way it looked when she wrote it herself with her fat, O-R-A-N-G-E, orange crayon. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. Chrysanthemum thought her name was absolutely perfect. And then she started school. On the first day, Chrysanthemum wore her sunniest dress and her brightest smile. She ran all the way. "Hooray!" said Chrysanthemum. "School!" And I bet you'll be that excited when you finally get to come to school here in person. But when Mrs. Chud took roll call, everyone giggled upon hearing Chrysanthemum's name. "It's so long," said Joe. "It scarcely fits on your name tag," said Rita, pointing. "I'm named after my grandmother," said Victoria. "You're named after a flower." Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and informed Mrs. Chud that Chrysanthemum's name was spelled with 13 letters. And this week you learned to count how many letters are in your name. That's exactly half as many letters as there are in the entire alphabet, Victoria explained. How did she know that? How many letters are in the alphabet? 26, don't forget. "Thank you for sharing that with us, Victoria," said Mrs. Chud. "Now, put your head down, please." If I had a name like yours, I'd change it, Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. I wish I could, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Is Victoria being a very nice person? No, not at all. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. My name is too long. It scarcely fits on my name tag, and I'm named after a flower. Oh, psh, said her mother. Your name is beautiful, and precious, and priceless, and fascinating, and winsome, said her father. It's everything you are, said her mother. Absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt much better after her favorite dinner, macaroni and cheese with ketchup. Ooh. And an evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that her name was Jane. It was an extremely pleasant dream. The next morning, Chrysanthemum wore her most comfortable jumper. She walked to school as slowly as she could. She dragged her feet in the dirt. Chrysanthemum, 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 she wrote. She even looks like a flower, said Victoria as Chrysanthemum entered the playground. Let's pick her, said Rita, pointing. Let's smell her, said Joe. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. The rest of the day was not much better. During nap time, Victoria raised her hand and said, A chrysanthemum is a flower. It lives in a garden with worms and other dirty things. Thank you for sharing with us, Victoria, said Mrs. Judd. Now put your head down. I just cannot believe your name, Victoria said as the students lined up to go home. Neither can I, thought Chrysanthemum miserably. Oh, boys and girls, this Victoria is being a bully, and we do not bully here at school. No, no, no. Welcome home, said her mother. Welcome home, said her father. School is no place for me, said Chrysanthemum. They said I even look like a flower. They pretended to pick and smell me. Oh, shh, said her mother. They're just jealous and envious and begrudging and discontented and jaundiced, said her father. Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours, said her mother. After all, it's absolutely perfect, said her father. Chrysanthemum felt a trifle better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting, and another evening filled with hugs, kisses, and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals, and then Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves and petals one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and her good luck charms. Do you have something that's special to you? Chrysanthemum took the longest route possible to school. She stopped and stared at each and every flower. Chrysanthemum, 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 the flowers seemed to say. That morning, the students were introduced to Miss Trinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream and was everything else about her. The students were speechless. They thought Mistress Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Mistress Trinkle led the students in scales. Then she assigned roles for the class musical. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as the spiffy butterfly princess. Joe was chosen as the all-important pixie messenger. And Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. Chrysanthemum's a daisy, chrysanthemum's a daisy, Joe, Rita, and Victoria chanted, thinking it was wildly funny. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. What's so humorous? Asked Mistress Twinkle. Chrysanthemum was the answer. Her name is so long, said Joe. It scarcely fits on her name tag, said Rita, pointing. I'm named after my grandmother, said Victoria, but she's named after a flower. My name is long, said Mistress Twinkle. It is, said Joe. My name was carelessly fit on a name tag, said Mistress Twinkle. It would, said Rita, pointing. And, Mrs. Twinkle, I'm named after a flower, too. You are, said Victoria. Yes, said Mrs. Twinkle. My name is Delphinium. Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, I'm considering Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's absolutely perfect. Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed and beamed and bloomed. Chrysanthemum, Chrysanthemum, Chrysanthemum. Joe, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. Call me Marigold, said Joe. I'm Carnation, said Rita, pointing. My name is Lily of the Valley, said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She knew it. And off she went back home. Boys and girls, so many good things come from this book. Mainly remember that we do not make fun of other people because each of us is special. And I hope this week you've learned just how special you are and how we can't wait to have you here at school with us. And to always be a friend because that's what we're here to do, be each other's friends. Okay, boys and girls, happy learning. Bye, guys.